Hey guys, it's th10 here. So I'm back to show you guys some 3-star strats that th10s can use for war. So I've been recently running on a pretty good win streak in terms of war attacks. I'm pulling off some nice 3-stars, experimenting. I've been experimenting. I'm in this great clan right now called Baked, and we're doing big wars, having a good time. So, previously I've been using a lot of valks strategies. Today I wanted to try something new. I was presented with a base that didn't seem to like it would work for valks, even though valks are really strong for th10. And I will say, I am mostly a th10, although I do have this level 4 Grand Warden. He does a little bit of damage, but doesn't even have his ability yet, so all the stuff I'm showing here can easily be done for th10s. So let's look at this base. I got presented with this base here. It didn't look like valks were going to work because, I'll just go through the logic. When you're looking at a base, you can't just throw the same attack at every single base and expect it to work, right? Valks typically work well when there's a mass of buildings like close together. This one, you can see all the buildings are sort of spread apart. Even if you used 2 jumps to open this up, they would be going all over the place. They didn't count. The 2 infernos are far apart. That really rips up valks. So I could see pretty quickly I wasn't going to get away with 3-starring this base using valks. Not short of a miracle. I didn't even want to go there. So there's another attack that's available for th10s, and I've been watching a lot of good players in my clan play. So big shout out to my buddy Daddy, who showed me this attack. I mean, I've sort of arranged this attack a little differently for this particular base, but it's a loon attack. So you can see I'm taking the 3 lava hounds, 20 loons, and a strike force consisting of giants in my clan castle, a couple of bowlers, a couple of wizards, and of course my heroes. So I'll show you why I chose to go for loons on this base, right? There's a couple ways you can deploy loons, but whenever you see a situation where you can reach air defenses and things are spread out in this way, and you can reach the archer queen as well, these are key considerations on the loon attack. So I decided to go for loon on this one because the nature of the defenses, if you take a look at it this way, they're set up in a circular manner. So that actually favors a sort of typhoon-like circular, okay, that was not it, circular deployment of loons here, right? So basically I could see right away, on a loon attack, you want to use a strike force that's going to take out 1, the archer queen, and 2, so 1, the archer queen, and 2, at least 1 air defense. Extra score if you can get an air sweeper. I mean, double extra score if you can get an inferno tower as well. In this case, you could see that there was 2 air defenses nearby, as well as the guy's town hall. So even if I failed, I was saying, wow, at least I'm going to get the 2-star for sure. That's better than a kick in the butt, right? So this was where my strike force was going to be hitting for sure. And basically the plan was, if you look at this this arrangement of weaponry, I wanted my loons to go in a circular motion around. There's a couple ways people play loons. Sometimes they'll do a sort of a straight line, go in a parallel play like that. That works on certain bases. Another way to do it is to do like 2 fronts moving in like this to funnel, and then a 3rd front coming in after to hit like a central position. But when you have a very obviously circular base like this, the only way you can do it is with, drop your hounds in one at a time, and then drop in small pockets of loons as you go around. And what happens is they clear out certain weapons and they start to move in this direction. Clear out weapons and they all start to move together. And so you get the most out of your haste spells, you get the most out of your rage spells, and it ends up being this sort of circular kill, which works nicely because your loons aren't getting hit by a lot of weapons at once, and you can kind of mitigate that damage. All right, so with that in mind, I knew how I wanted to deliver the loons in the circular fashion. I was pretty sure that this whole thing could be taken down, as well as whatever's in the clan castle, because it reaches here and my giants were going to go within that barrier for sure. And I was hoping for both of these to go down, and depending on which one did, that was the side I was going to start in. So for instance, depending on how many of these get taken down, I was going to send in my first group of loons here to hit something in this quadrant, and then my next group was going to hit this outer one, and then my next one I was probably going to continue in there. Now, the way I learned this strategy was, instead of freezes, I saw it with clone spells. Clones are great if, say, the central position has a bunch of stuff in it, like that you need to bring down, you need extra sort of oomph to take down. However, in this case, the consideration was right here and right here. So the Inferno and the Wizard Tower are dangerous to loons, and they're both right next to each other there, and I thought that would be a really good place to neutralize them with a nice max level freeze. Good few seconds there. Now, the other consideration I had was these two crossbows set to air. They're pretty strong, so I knew that I wanted to have some hounds crossing those paths. So basically, my plan for my hounds was going to be, suppose I went down this side, I was going to send the first one through here, heading for the first air defense, and then follow it up with my loons. And then I was going to have the second hound come in for that. Second hound here because if the hounds die here, that's gravy. With the motion of my loons going through, I want those lava pups starting to clear this side of the base. Now for my third lava hound, I wanted to let him off here at the right time to go through and pick up these crossbows, because I didn't want anything messing with my loons, right? I'm totally mitigating damage. I considered bringing a heal spell instead of a freeze, but in the end, freeze won out. It's kind of like a really nice finesse spell. And of course, I brought one poison instead of a 6th haste to deal for sure with the clan castle troops. Hastes is another consideration. Because of the danger zones, you want to think about where you're going to use hastes. I was definitely going to use one around the Inferno Tower to make sure that went down, as well as for this one. Secondly, I was definitely going to use one or even two right here to take out those crossbows fast, as well as this last AD. After that, it should be gravy. So I think I covered all the bases. It's a complex attack, but I'm just going through the motions with you guys. This is what I went through before I attacked it, how I decided to do it. The last thing to consider, of course, is the sweeper, but since I was planning on taking this one down and I knew my loons were going like this, I didn't anticipate that the sweeper was going to be trouble. And you can adapt this strategy to any base if you think about it in this manner. So let's go see how this played out. It was a pretty nice attack, and if you can swing it and you've got that sort of creative way of looking at the game, it can really work out. So here we go. And I've been using giants lately instead of golems as well. The level 8 giants in the clan castle, they do quite a lot of damage, and they go straight for those weapons, and they give you a higher rate of success. The rage I put down early to make sure those wall breakers break it. It's critical. And go my troops, I just throw it all down. I did a bit of funneling with my bowlers to make sure my heroes didn't go off. There's that clan castle. Looks like some valks and a couple of air. I put the poison on it right away. They get dealt with. There's my queen taking out the AD. One archer tower's already down. It's gravy. As many weapons as they take down, it makes an easier job for my loons. So she's working on that last thing, and here come the loons. All right. So I leave the queen to do her thing for a bit. Here come my two first hounds, and there's the freeze. So the loons are already going. I'm not rushing it too much. There's my first haste. Get them in position. Looks like they take that Inferno down easy. Here comes my last hound which I'm hoping is going to go through. So the next thing I do is I place a haste so the hound rushes through. They pick up that crossbow fire. That's excellent. So the Tesla's popped in the center. Had to anticipate that. Luckily, the haste is there to facilitate the takedown. There goes my last haste. I used my freeze probably a little too early on that top part, but not a worry. The haste allows loons to take it out in a timely fashion. And on the bottom here, you can see I've got a cleanup crew, the remnants of my army, basically doing going around key break for me. Let's go into fast forward. His last Tesla, sneaky guy, he puts it in the corner. Not sneaky enough. So this was a close on time match fight. I think I had like 10 or 15 seconds to spare. More than enough to finish the guy up. So there you go. The loon attack, a 3-star. A 3-star on a th10. Next attack. All right. It was, let's go back to the drawing board. Now, basically that was my only loon attack recently. The next ones are going to be valk attacks, which to me are probably the most sure thing if you're going for 3 stars in wars against th10s. Now, I'd seen this base. This is a cleanup attack basically, so I'd been able to see a couple of things about it. Nothing that really gave it away too much, but I'll tell you what my plan was here. Valks, of course, are the best for huge, massive inner fortresses. They totally clean them out. However, usually I bring 4 rage, 1 jump. This one I could see that wasn't going to work because of how many walls he had in the center. So there's a couple things to consider. I want to break that center up as fast as possible, because if you look at the outside, it's not really a big deal. After you take out all his crossbows, his heroes, his infernos, a cannon and everything, it's basically no big deal. So like, check this out. I saw very quickly that if I want to open up this whole center, I can do it actually with 2 jumps, right? So there's the first one, I was going to put it through this way, and the second one kind of through this way. And that way, if you think about it, the valks that come in through here can jump to this, to this, to this, to this, and then follow up to this, this. They can get everything with those 2 critically placed jumps. I was really targeting that corner and this corner, as well as this corner and this corner. Just enough room for the jump, which is slightly smaller, I think, than an earthquake. Now, the exterior wall I wasn't worried about. Why? Because I was planning on doing a good funneling job and letting the valks tear that wall apart. Valks are great like that because you don't necessarily need wall breakers with them if you direct them where you want. So I'd seen a clanmate go through this way with his archer queen, and that's where I decided to do my walk. I didn't go through my whole lineup here for you guys because this is a sort of a typical. The only change I've made recently is I'm bringing giants in the clan castle instead of a golem, and I'm just using my level 2 bowlers because they're good enough for the task. So anyways, I decided because of where that clan castle ends, I wanted to go in here, break in with some wall breakers with my archer queen, and clear off this sort of stuff, and hopefully go inside, go within the pull the clan castle troops out with the archer queen, let her clear those out. For the valk attack, it's critical that the archer queen be allowed to clear the clan castle. As you guys are going to see, I had to sort of think on my toes on this one because she didn't go the way I wanted to. I actually placed her the exact same place as my clanmate placed her, and he had a nice sort of direction like this, and I thought that could have worked for a wall breaker strike. However, in the actual playback, you'll see it didn't work out. So archer queen goes in here, golems and bowlers go in here, right? The idea being they can start clearing up this stuff. She clears up this stuff. It leaves a very specific path for the valks to strike right there. And I was intending for the valks to break this, beat up those things, and then break through one of these walls. And then, of course, my jumps would open up that center. interestingly enough, open up the center without breaking this inner wall, so they're kind of like trapped in there. They're forced to do their killing there. And then on top of that, of course, my rage spells. I was going to just plop a rage there, plop a rage there. That would give the valks the speed and the power to break through that whole juicy center. I didn't intend to use a rage on my bowlers. I actually wanted a rage for my queen, especially since I knew she was probably going to be engaging the enemy archer queen and the clan castle troops and these upgraded defense structures on the wall. And basically beyond that, it's just going to be cleanup. Of course, 2 poisons. Let's go see how it went down. This, these Valk attacks, they're starting to look a little easy to me now. Once I've seen the power of the Valk, they can really chew up a base core pretty well, especially when they're backed by appropriate direction and rage, right? All right. So there's that AQ. Very nice. She's taken out, and I did angle those healers so they wouldn't get hit by that air defense at the same time. She's going in the way she should. That's nice. Now she goes the wrong way, and I'm not happy about it. I have to drop the rage on her because the archer queen engaged her early, and she went not the way I wanted. So now I'm sort of improvising. I put my giants and my bowlers down the same side, and I realized that I'm going to have to basically clear that whole wing and go in from clear down to the left and go in from the top with my valks if I want to reach that center. So I just let my giants do their work. They've now got the backup of the heals, which is all right. They're going through stuff. Now it's looking pretty good. The king's going down. I place my jumps. There's the clan castle. I roast them with the poison. I love it when it's minions because they just get taken down so easily. And now I see it's clear enough for my valks. This is really important that you wait so the valks only have one place to go. My jumps are still good for a minute, so I'm not in a rush. They go and they start to break in a wall. I'm okay with that. I get a little worried when some break off. However, I drop my 2 rages on those 8 or so valks that do get in. And, they go to town on the inside of the base. There's the second rage. All of his Teslas come up there. Not worried. The valks tear it up. Good stuff. The other valks that went around the edge helped that flank, And basically after this point, it's just cleanup. The queen is up. The king is up. I got a handful of valks still alive. Too easy. So there you go, guys. As long as you set the valks to gut the core of a base, I found, and you can manage to time it so that your queen and king are still alive, you're going to have a good time of it. Those valks they know what to do every time. Let's go take a look at another base. It's another th10. This is a pretty tough looking base. Same story. Valks again, right? So this time, I hadn't yet started using the giants for this, but I had the golem here. Let's bust out the green. So this is a similar base. Anything with that island middle, the juicy center, you see it's perfect for valks because they're just going to tear this up in like 2 seconds flat, right? So this was a cleanup job I also did. Now I brought like one of these because I saw that there was an air mine right there, and I wanted to draw it out just because I was planning to put my AQ in here. Look at where that clan castle barrier is. I brought a hog. Easy. Once the queen starts her thing and she starts clearing these things, you put the hog in, he pulls the stuff out. Now this clan wasn't too hot. They didn't have a full clan castle, and I knew that. I might have gone for a giant or something longer lasting, but 1 hog was enough to pull like the 1 baby dragon that was in there. It was like a sort of half-assed clan castle fill. So a big chunky 15 valks. Look at this this heart shape here. So here's how I chose my direction, okay? I knew I wanted the queen on the top side there because the clan castle troops. I also knew this spacing here. See how it's like all his buildings here are bunched up really close. That gives you an idea of where valks are going to go. So I knew my AQ was going to go down here. She was going to clear these 3. She was going to clear this. And when she started breaking into this base, The thing to know about archer queens is they can hit something that is past the 3 mark line. So if you have a 3 slot building like this, if there's something touching it, she can actually hit it. If they leave a space, she won't, and she'll actually circle or have to break through the wall. So I knew she could actually reach this and this from standing right here at the wall. So I put her there because that looked nice. If she could potentially hit that thing, the elixir storage, it was going to make a break here so that when my valks came in here, they would be more likely to go inside rather than start circling, right? The other thing is I decided to put my golem and bowlers here, just to get rid of all this stuff. And it didn't really matter to me how far in they got, as long as they took out this and maybe this, because here this is a demarcation line that's going to force the valks to want to go inside, especially since I'm opening. This is getting sloppy. Especially since I'm opening this up with the jump, right? So a valk who I was assuming there's the Teslas here, I think. So it was basically a that kind of deal. Once your valks break in and they start tearing this place apart, and your queen is clearing out here, it's going to be the same as always. Your queen and the king and whatever is left is going to circle around and destroy the rest of this base. So your job with the valks is really to reach that juicy center. That's why you're clearing the 2 sides first. All right. So here you go. This one was in a previous war. And it's a good example to show you what you can do even as a th10. Like it's totally doable to get 3 stars on people. Let me see, it was number. It's been a couple of good wars for me. I'm not gonna lie. I've had 2 6-star wars now, and I'm looking forward to upgrading my troops. I'm still using th10 troops, but it's doing all right. So here comes the hog. And there's the queen. I put down my poisons right away to catch the mob. Wouldn't have mattered if you'd had a full clan castle. They all would have been roasted right there. It's all good. I put my king down, get that preemptive. This is a tough base, so I do the preemptive rages on it. I really want that clear done well. There's my bowlers doing exactly what I thought they'd do, and I put my valks in. Now you see that opened up right there? That jump. Here's the queen. She's coming in. She hits that elixir storage just in time to make sure the valks don't circle, and look at that, they instantly go right in. It's really touch and go. There's that double rage on the inside. Luckily some of the valks back out and they start going around the side instead of getting caught in like a mortar fire in the middle there. And after that it just becomes a matter of the valks teaming up with the queen, whatever's left of the bowlers. Once you do this a few times, you kind of get the rhythm of it. If it's a tight base, you kind of got to unleash them all fairly quickly. The more loose the base, you have a little more time between when you unleash the valks and the queen walk and all that stuff. Depending on how much the queen has to do, you have to sort of judge it for yourself. In this case, the queen, she didn't have too much to do, so it kind of pushed it all in together. And let's just fast forward here. It's a cleanup from here on out. If you have that queen still standing and her healer's more or less intact, and at least a couple of other troops, it's always nice. She could do it alone though, of course. And there you go. So there you have it, guys. Now in this particular war, so that was my cleanup attack. I'm not going to bring the next base to the drawing board because you guys get it now. You guys get that queen attack. I'll just show you versus a th11 before I start it. This is a really easy base. His weapons are all crappy. It is still a th11, but it's kind of easy. This is a kind of base anybody can walk over if they've got those level 5 Valkyries. You don't even need to funnel in this one because he set up the walls for you to funnel. So let's just see how I did this, right? I start my queen with her funnel on the top. The weak walls. The lesson here is don't rush. Don't rush to 11. It's not worth it. You're going to get 3-starred in wars. It's going to take you time. Anyways, you might as well stay at the TH you're at and enjoy a max base. So there's my bottom crew starting to clear that stuff out. I'm really not too worried about it. Here comes my valks right in that wing. There's my jump spell, and I know where I want them. I'm going to put my 2 rages right in the center. Make sure I take down those infernos ASAP. Infernos are still dangerous to valks because they do that AoE damage. They're kind of like wizard towers. And of course the eagle artillery is always dangerous. So there, that juicy center goes down, and after that, you know, still have a king ability up. My queen's still around. She's having no trouble. Full health with all her healers. Maybe -1. And after that, it's just a cleanup. If you can rush the valks to the center, it's better for everyone, because the haste will make sure that they plow through whatever's there. They survive long enough to do something afterwards, especially if they can break through the rest of the sort of circle that's around the middle. It'll make it easier for your queen to not take too much fire when she's cleaning up. Of course, the level 40 queen is kind of critical to getting these 3 stars. She's tough, and she does serious damage. So even now, it was kind of like, you know, only 2 heroes left. If he had a couple more weapons up, it might have not really worked out, but there you go. There's that 3-star. So anyways, guys, I hope you found this helpful. That's 4 different, 3 of them were Valk attacks. The Valk attack is strong for th10, especially against ring bases of all kinds. Check out those loon attacks. They're fun and satisfying once you get the technique down. You're going to fail a lot when you start practicing, but, you know, find yourself a good clan that puts up a lot of friendly challenges, and you get the chance to practice, and hopefully this helps you guys bring some 3 attacks to your own clans. Alright, so peace out, and thanks for watching. Later.